guys, welcome back to the Pure Goddess channel. My name is Gwenly, and I hope everyone's doing well. Go! Oh my god. People and their driving skills. You guys, I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers. She is highly gifted. Her name is Gypsy Cowgirl. Something like that. And she is so awesome. She is like all I ever wanted for like a friend. She's super open-minded, like just like me, has really like so many gifts and talents naturally, but she's like on another level. Obviously she has 10 plus years experience, and so she has really developed and like learned in depth, like everything, a lot of things. And you know, like I don't even know where to start. You know, like there's no level of like depth that you can reach, because it's still ongoing learning, right? For empaths, like for chosen ones, for like you have psychic abilities, mediumship abilities, you know, like that is forever. My goal is just to keep advancing and learning, right? To get to another level. And it's not out of ego or pride. It's just like, where are we really from? And just, I don't know how to express or even explain. But she has opened my mind and given me like freedom within me and in my gifted world. She has given me freedom, and I don't know, you know, it's not it's deep stuff, you know, it's really deep stuff. Oh, you know, she's how do you say that? She's part of she is going to be part of a couple who have really, really unique and talented abilities and gifts, and they have been doing this retreat for a very long time, I think 20 plus years, in the south of France that she's been talking about in September of this year. And you know, she says, you know, it's something that no retreat is like this one, that it's like authentic, real stuff that you're learning from like Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, like really sacred stuff, and a lot of the things within us, you know, we have like a lot of known unknowns. We already know, you know, we like, if someone gives us new information about anything and we have no idea, we've never like even heard of it or heard the topic or anything, right? We are gonna know. You know, let's say someone's telling us information about something like new in technology, or I don't know, and we have no idea what is like the newest thing in that field. But we have a knowing that is true. We have a knowing that like we have deeper info on that, you know, without knowing until the topic occurs, until it's talked about, until that info is given. We have, like, it's just a knowing. I don't know how to tell you, but you know, a lot of that is the reason why we're so like people who act or who label themselves as being a witch or a spiritualist or a practitioner, like, and they have no like abilities, or they have no like not, it's not through like DNA, right? And like, it's not their birthright, right? Where did yes, Cosmic Royal Family was talking about this on Sunday, a reading that came out, and she was talking about how, you know, some like spiritual people or people that work with energy, people that, you know, are psychics, people that say they have abilities, some are natural, some are birthright abilities, and like if they're witches, you know, there's good and bad, there's good and evil, but you know, it's natural. You're born with it, your DNA. And then others are self-taught. You know, they learn through a book, they learn through messing around, you know. So there's a big difference, you know. Anyone could label themselves as being a witch or having gifts or, you know, etc. It's just silly to me. Silly, silly, silly. You know, and my whole life I've had people who naturally, they want to bring me down, or they want to act like they are more highly spiritual, more highly gifted, and they start doing black magic or throwing spells and things like this, you know, which is silly. So there's a lot of those people, like, and those are people that talk, they don't, like, they just talk too much, you know. And It's you're either good or bad. It doesn't matter. Occultist, spiritualist, practitioner, um if you're a psychic, meaning anything is good or bad. Good or bad. You work with God, you work with the light, or you work for the devil, you work in the dark, right? For the dark. And I used to be so scared of I used to be so scared of like the dark, because as a child, I experienced a lot of darkness in my household, because there was addictions, because there was demonic like demons within my own mother, my family members, like the adults, in the household at that time. I see those things. I saw those things, and it just becomes dark, and I could see. I studied my mom. She was like my first study, and I learned a lot from people who have darkness inside of them, within them. I learned because my mom was one of them, and she's still alive. But I studied her for, my whole life. And a lot of darkness in her mind and within her and her thoughts. And, I could see those things. I feel those things. And, I was like, I was just, I guess, heartbroken for a very long time, because she couldn't get out of that hole. And it was just a cycle over and over and over, and she couldn't help herself, and she didn't want to help herself either, and it was like a well-kept secret, because out in the public, it was another story. She was normal, living the karmic life, living a worldly life, living, gossiping about others, and gossiping at work, and being, just like low vibrational at work, and getting a paycheck and having a steady income, but hating your job, and it's just like no happiness, no fulfillment. The fulfillment would be in the toxicity, and just a big thing was like gossiping and talking about others, and that was the main thing. Like work gossip, work toxicity was like number one for her, and for a lot of people that I knew. And I have, I had a lot of like resentment, or just anger towards her and her choices in life, even though I'm the daughter. Because it's just like a low vibrational lifestyle, and I would get so pissed off, like if I would hear her on the phone, like I would just tune out, because it's just like, who the heck has time to speak about others? And why are you speaking about others? Like, where's your morals and principles? Seriously. So I was raised by people like this, and for them it's normal. For their lifestyle, the people that surround them, it's normal, right? And I was very different, and my mom hated me for that. She had so much resentment. Like, she wished I was her twin, you know, the daughter that she could like groom to be just like her, you know, but better and more toxic. And it's like, you know, my sister became that. And my younger sister. And you know, they even like gang up against me, you know, team up against me. And you know, to toxic people, to low vibrational like lifestyle people that live in that, they think of me, or people that are just at peace, that are calm, you know, like we're boring and we have nothing going on in our lives, you know? Like, what are you doing? Like, you're too quiet. And you could say, you know, my family, like my childhood family, they're out of my life. And because, you know, I tried to hold on for a long time, and to heal them and change them, and make them see like this is toxic, and like they never cared to like really get to know me at all. They knew that I didn't like things like that. I didn't really like have that in common with them, like that lifestyle, and I just didn't care for it. Like, I don't care to talk about uh, other people. Like, who has time for that? Like, you're wasting so much like of your precious energy that you could like invest in it, in something else. And no wonder why your life is so shitty, even though you may be materialistically decent, or to the public you're so cool and like you have it all together, or whatever people make up in their heads, right? um but like within you, mentally, emotionally, like you're just insecure person that just, you know, like you have no integrity for yourself and no love for yourself. And you can tell me and blame that, well, people take advantage of you, or you're a doormat, or like you don't speak up for yourself, and this and this. And I'm healing through a lot, and slowly and little by little I will be healing those things that people engraved into me, like my mother. You know, like I'm not good enough because I'm not like low vibrational. Like I really grew up in this type of lifestyle and surrounded, and I attracted these type of people and environments because that's all I knew. And since I've tried, it's been like a tug of war, like energetically, with my mother, with my own family. Like I'm trying to like elevate myself and not be in a karmic lifestyle, because yeah, to me that's normal, but like I know I'm not that. Like I'm not. I just grew up in it, right? um and like me trying to like better myself, better everything, anything in my life, and them pulling me back down, like, you don't deserve that, you deserve to be with us, you deserve this, you deserve luck, you know? And and it's not about material stuff, right? Because it's so easy. Like, people that don't have discernment will be easily fooled, right? um just like my son's daycare, my son's preschool, easily fooling people, you know. you know, when you are like, when you can read people, you don't see just their appearance, you see what's within them, their soul. What are they hiding? Their false mask. Like, you see the truth within people, right? And you know, people are so good at like making it seem like painting a picture, right? This is how this is how we are, this is how we are teaching the children, and this and this, and you know, and then it's just a lot of red flags, you know, it's just a lot of masking. And you know, it's not necessarily unsafe, it's safe, and that's the only reason why I've been letting it be. But sooner than later, I'm gonna have to pull my son out of his school, you know. I don't like falseness or unauthentic people. And you know, people who belittle and judge and just like make it their, like yesterday I was watching another video on YouTube, they make it their job to misunderstand you and to purposely not like you. Like you know, like they just don't like you because you're real, you're authentic. Like, I'm not fake. Like, I'm not gonna have you know, like, just this whole society, it's like, you have to be a mean girl. You have to be like, so fake. Like, I fucking hate you or I dislike you, but at the same time, I'm gonna treat you like, oh my god, hi. You know, like just fake, you know? Like, I'm gonna act like I like you, but I don't. You know? And it's just like, wow. I can't deal with people like that. You know? And with me healing, I grew up in this type of environment, so I'm not, just because I don't like it, I don't relate to it anymore, because I've had my toxic moments when I was younger. Just because I don't want to live this type of lifestyle, because you are what you surround yourself with. The people in your life, it doesn't matter if you see them every other day. Like, if they're in your life, then it matters. It's an impact on your life. And I am very, very, very like, that's really important to me, right? And it's something that I have to teach my son, because kids are very gullible, and of course they're gonna be happy if the preschool teacher is buying toys every other day, like the newest toys that are like so cool for boys or girls, you know, the trending stuff. And that's good for them, you know, good for the school and good for the kids that are in, you know, being raised and accepting to be raised in that type of lifestyle, or this level of like materialism, like energetically, it's low vibrational. So I don't want that for my son, you know. And why would I? Because it feels comforting to me in a sense, because, you know, there could be a million reasons, right? I grew up, you know, like, my family, they had their struggles, you know, we had our struggles, but we always had, you know, what we needed. And my dad would spoil us sometimes, you know, and we always had what we needed. And my parents grew up very, you know, as a child they grew up very, very poor. They're orphans. And I understand, you know, I understand, and I understand that there's unhealedness, and I understand that there's healness, and I understand that when you have children, you want what you didn't have, you want to give what you didn't have, and that was their way, you know. And sometimes because we're struggling financially, you can't give materialistically, that, you know, that I'm showing you love by buying you things. And that's how a lot of society thinks and feels. And you know, there's people that's their love language because of how they were programmed to be. But truthfully, it's not, you know. It's the toxic, low vibrational lifestyle. And it takes away from really looking within and doing the work, you know, and not being complacent in your life, and, you know, like feeling stuck within you. Even though you, in the outside world, you are successful and you have things going for you, and that's awesome. But balancing and doing the work and healing more, because the healing process is never over. Why do you do these things? Why are you over consumption in the material world? Why and working on being the most authentic self you can be? You know, this, when I talk about others, it's not in a judgmental way. I have love for everybody, and I see their faults, and I see where they're not perfect. How society, how this world is like, you have to be perfect, you have to be trending, you have to be, you know, it's like you have to keep up. When the fuck do you get a break? You know, like working 8 hours, 9 hours or more, having your own business already, it's like it takes a toll on you. You have to keep up. And then if you have kids, if you are married, if you have a family, you know, you have pets, it's just keep up. If you have to, like, be responsible for your, like, parents and other family members or friends, like, when do you have time for yourself? Never, you know. And you're just wasting yourself away. Like, you're not taking care of yourself, honestly, you know. And you know, the ego is really, really, really dangerous. If you have a really high ego, it's really dangerous. And that's where all this, like, really makes you or breaks you, you know, like, or you will be broken up, you know, intentionally by God, because it's like, when your time comes, your time comes. That ego will have to be broken down. You will have to look within. Even though you say you've been in therapy for so long, for how many years, you feel like you're fully healed. No, you're not. There's so many dark things within you, so many insecurities that you mirror and project onto others, that it's okay. You don't have to act like you're perfect, you know. And that's where materialism fucks you up, because yeah, I'm perfect, I'm this, I'm that, I drive, I go here, I wear this. Okay, you're cool to society, but, like, you're so unhappy and unfulfilled within you. Seriously. Like, what are you, a robot? You know? Like, people are robots. They're becoming robots. Like, that's... people worried about robots coming up, you know, like, people, like, robots are taking over humanity, or they will be. No, man. We are robots already, you know? We're being programmed. And there's a lot of unwoken people, you know? People are not awake. And living in this world is not easy, especially if you have, you know, if you just have yourself and family members, like, you know, parents, siblings, cousins, who are on this journey as well, who are on like, they've awakened, they're on a truth journey, they're, you know, wanting to be their authentic self, wanting to really live their life, like, fully and fulfilled, and learn new things. And why did we come on this earth, you know? Like, not just going with the program, being in the matrix, being stuck in the matrix, like, literally being a robot. Like, you're getting programmed to do this, to act this way, to live this way. Like, people need to wake up, you know? A lot of people are not woken up. And it's so hard. Like, if you have children, if I had a counterpart, if I had a husband or a wife, so I had someone who was supportive with, you know, and we had our children, like, we're better off that way, obviously, because 2 is better than 1. Like, we will make shit happen, right? But as a single parent, it's hard for me to, first of all, it's hard for me to deal with the other party, which is my son's father, who is not woken yet, and who is the fucking demon. He's a devil. Like, he's the worst of the worst. And dealing with someone who wants to be karmic and live karmically, you know, it's really hard to have a relationship, you know, when it has to do with your child. And it's really hard. And thankfully, he is like a semi-absent parent who cares but doesn't give a fuck. You know, who has thrown and throws all the responsibility on me. Obviously, we're states away, so I have all the responsibility, right? And I take and make all the choices and decisions in my son's life. And I just tell him about it. He doesn't even ask. In the past, he's never even asked, or he does, but he doesn't care, like, much. Like, if you concernedly care about your son's health, all he needs to hear is he's okay. He doesn't need to, like, be told details or anything about it. And that's just who he is, right? But that doesn't make you, like, a bad parent, you know? But he's not involved in that sense where he is, like, low vibrational lifestyle. Like, IQ is not the best. Like, he's smart, but, like, he's real stupid. And I'm just thankful that he's not that parent who sometimes he will fight just to fight with me, right? Because he's like a karmic. But when it has to do with my son, like, the boundary was put there a long time ago. When it has to do with my son, like, no manipulation, no nothing, you know? And he, like a snake, found his way to be able to do that, you know? And now we're going through, like, a custody battle because he has to be toxic and he has to be manipulative. And, like, I can't deal with that in my life, you know? Like, you're not bettering my life. And it's just unfortunate that you're the father of my son, but that's not gonna stop me to cut your fucking head off as a snake, you know, to put you in your place. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all, because financially he was helping, and financially, like, there's no help at the moment, and it's hard. And but it had to be done because so many boundaries were being crossed, and these people are so deceptive and like sneaky, and they would find their way. Like, I don't have time to, like, you know, when you're tired, you just, to have your wall up or be on defense with like your son's father, it's fucking draining. And you know, I got fed up and tired of it, and I was just like, I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna deal with you anymore. I'm gonna let them deal with you legally, and that's just how it's gonna be. You're gonna have to prove your fucking self. If you really love your child, right? You want to be in his life, you're gonna have to do this, this, and this. And that's all them, you know? And emotionally and mentally, he really fucked me up, because he's a narcissist. And he really, like, abused me in so many different ways. Like, the tactics that I've never had gone through something like this before. And yes, my mom, I consider her a narcissist. And, but someone who, you know, it was just obviously a lover. So I've had narcissists, but not up to this, this level of like demonic. And they're just hateful, and they want to tear me down. Like, they really want to end me and suck the life out of me and take my light away and put me down every single time they can, and just like imprison me, just like how my mom made me feel. And I really, really, like, when I left this person, I really had to like go deep. I had no choice. I was in like rock bottom. I had no choice but to start healing like my childhood stuff. And you know, so dealing with childhood stuff, dealing with mother stuff, so right? But more of a understanding and having that reflection of like, how did I get to this point in my life? You know, if I had healed that a long time ago, I would not be in this situation. And it was not my fault. But because of the way I grew up and how I was treated by my own mother and family, that is the result. That's what happened. And if I had healed that a long time ago, then I wouldn't be in this situation. I would have made healthier choices, right? I would not have gone with like what's normal and comfortable to me. You know, like, I didn't know that was toxic. I didn't know that was low vibrational. I thought that was normal. Like, I had a sense, like, okay, people with principles and morals and values, they don't do things like this. But like, I'm not like this. So, but the people in my life are like this. So, hello. You know, it was a wake-up call. And now I'm like healing mother wounds and childhood wounds. I had to see, like, find, like, reflect. And I was mirroring a lot, right? And I started, you know, I was raising my son by myself. And I left him when my son was very, very small. I'm like, he is not gonna, like, what I went through, he's not gonna go through this. He's not gonna have this life at all, of his mother being mistreated, abused, mentally, emotionally, financially exploited or abused, you know, like, and just being imprisoned, and him taking the life force out of me, you know, like, what do I have to give to my son in that situation? Nothing, you know? And like, my son, he's my angel, he's my baby. My son does not deserve that. And yeah, I didn't know my self-worth. I was not healed, you know? I'm like, my son does not deserve that. And then slowly but surely I started healing and healing and healing. Once I left, I don't deserve shit like this. I don't deserve this, you know? And it was a fight for a few years, since my son's gonna be 4 this week. And until now, I made this decision. Like, until now, I had to muster up, because it was bullshit with him. He had me going through shit, like, energetically, spiritually attacking me since he met me. And I wasn't awoken at that time. I wasn't, like, discerned at that time. I was still low vibrational in some ways, and in a lot of ways, but I never intentionally, like, hurt anyone, you know? And he just took advantage. But until now, I was very, like, afraid of him, you know, afraid of he's gonna hurt me, just afraid, you know, have this fear. Like, in the most vulnerable time of my life, he really did a number, right? He really, really made me feel unsafe when I was carrying my child. So I had that fear, that huge fear, like, I can't protect my son, I can't protect my son. You know, like, he took that power from me. And I took that shit back, and I stomped on him energetically, you know, like, fuck you, and you're done with us, you know? It took a lot of courage to, like, just take the step of, like, you're cut out of our lives, you know? Because, like, I don't want my son thinking this is normal, you know? This is not normal. Like, our children, they're young, and they're absorbing so much at an early age. Like, if you think financially, because you're stuck financially, or whatever the case is, like, you're just gonna ruin your kids. Like, you have to, like, end things, you know? You have to close out cycles. Like, you're fucking up your kids, because they think this shit is normal, but it's not. It's fucking unhealthy, you know? And I see a lot of kids who suffer, a lot of kids who go through things, and they don't speak because they're shushed, you know, as kids. And they're still kids, but they're shushed by their parents because of morals, generational things, like, this is how we grew up, this is how we're raised, so this is how you're gonna be raised, and you're gonna grow up like this too. Like, there's no advancement in, like, generational, like, values and things like this. And, well, now, since a short few years, it's been like a shock or a slap in the face to older generations, because everything in the world is, like, advancing, is changing, like, forcefully. We have to change, right? Like, with using cards and, like, your phone to pay, and, like, money is not so, like, common nowadays. Like, it is, but it's not. And then, you know, just a lot of big changes that, like, older generations are, like, you know? And this is just, like, minimum stuff. Like, this doesn't really matter in that sense, but family related things, like customs, and this is how we we grew up, this is how you're gonna have to raise your kids too, and blah blah blah. It's just no, you know. It's like being imprisoned. It's another way of being in jail and being imprisoned. I've always been against. I love. I love, like, I'm a romantic person, right? I love what is it called? Turkish soap operas. They're my favorite. My favorite, you know. They're so long, and it's just like, it's something different compared to like the Spanish soap operas. Is less toxicity and less lower vibrational. Seriously. Less cunning, but some Turkish soap operas are very cunning as well. Like, there's real bitches in those soap operas. But I guess they give me some sort of comfort because I guess the big thing for Turkish soap operas is like, you know, it's always most of the time has to do with like a wealthier family, and then like normal family household, like just parents working like day to day, you know, like just a normal household who, you know, a girl or a guy fall in love, one is wealthy, one is not, and then the family forbids it, and this and this, and you know, for so many things, you know. So many reasons why you're not going to be accepted into a family, and that's always been my life. Not just in marriage, but just not being accepted by friends, my own family, my own mother. Like, these are deep wounds that I have, right? And I really had, when we are guided, because God like puts us on us, and God like puts us takes us or guides us in a certain direction to meet certain people, so we face our fears, or we realize, we awaken, like, oh shit, like I need to heal this. I didn't know this was such a big insecurity, you know. God does this, and he did this with my son's preschool teacher. He has multiple in the home-based preschool, but the main one, like the first few weeks that my son started going there, like we were like, you know, having a lot of, like, we would see each other every day basically, and a lot of mirroring. You know, she triggered me so bad, and I did to her too. But because she's more of like this karmic lifestyle, like masks, and like she could hide it better, you know, these people hide it better. And we can too, right? But it's like, why do I want to hide so much, you know? Unless you're feeling triggered and like unsafe, and like, you know, your own things. But I was feeling so triggered by her, and it was that unhealed thing that I had that it's really big to me, like not being accepted by others. Like I have to be like this way or that way. I have to act this way or that way. I have to be like fake. I have to dress. I have to act. I have to be, you know, like carry myself in this like energy of like posh, like I'm better than anyone, like, you know, it's just, it's bullshit. There's deep insecurities there, but she really triggered me because it's like, why is my son's preschool teacher making me feel this way? Like, this is my son's school. Like, this has to do with him. And it's always been the case. Every place that I've taken my son for daycare, for preschool, since he was born, I've had issues. And it's been such of like a nerve-wracking, like emotional anxiety, like this fear for my son. It's like, it's draining, you guys. It's draining. It's like my attacks come from there, especially, and they have always came from there. And it's just like, damn, like that's the only way that my guides and God talk to me. Like, you need to put in more work, we're gonna do it through here. And it's just like, shit. It's like, it's not easy because I could go low vibrational, like these people, like these petty people, insecure people. Like, these are people that will be cunning and like in front of people, like, oh, hi mom, like they're so sweet, but like I see through like the bullshit detector. Like, I'm a bullshit detector. Like, I see right through you and your bullshit and like your appearance and like your fakeness, right? You're not being authentic and you're just deceivedness. But like, I can't go down to their level, right? Because, you know, back then I would, not in a, I mean, it's toxic for sure, but like I wouldn't have like a physical fight with them. But like, just having, I guess it's learning boundaries in a sense, right? Of like, this is the boundary. This is my son's, this is supposed to be my son's safe place. And his mom's being attacked every chance she gets, or he gets, these people get to attack me. Like, I'm being attacked. And this is supposed to be safe for my son. You know, and like, who gives a fuck about what you do or your lifestyle? Like, who cares? This has to do with children, right? You're taking care, or this is a school for children. Why the fuck do you care about what I do or who I am? Like, you know, it's just a lot of jealousy and envy. Always. And it's just like, you know, like a lot of learning lessons in these environments. And I had to really, really hold back because my son goes there and I wouldn't want anything to happen to him. So why would I even like exude or like throw negativity, negative energy, negative attacks, like energetic attacks, or be fake and like below the belt, or just be cunning and like, you know how people could get, like mean girls. Why would I do that when it's like, these people stay with my son a major part of the day, like for hours, and I know my son he's fine, you know, but it's just being a chosen one, you're attacked just by your light. Like, these people, they have Materialistically, they're good. They're popular. They're cool, whatever they claim themselves to be. But for like society, they're like the cool people, you know? And like this preschool teacher, she tried the first few weeks, she tried to like lower me energetically. Like, oh, you're too up here. And I'm better than you. Look at you. You have broken down car. You have whatever her thoughts were. By the way, I could read thoughts. I read people like a book. But I was guided to go there, you know? And, you know, I can't fight my guides. You know, it's like I'm guided, so I have to do it. And I have to do it and go through it, you know? Until I'm like, I'm done. And I'm done and I have free will and I go somewhere else. And I learn my lessons, you know, and I heal. And I'm aware of these things that I need to heal. So I go through that journey. But yeah, this teacher tried to like lower me energetically, and I'm like a high priestess. Like, you can't do that. And you will not. You know, like a lot of tests, you know, and I understand why I was put in this in the path, in this person's path, right? Because vice versa, we have a lot of things to learn or to, I guess, be aware of within ourselves. And it was just like a fight, like a battle, like energetically, like you gotta stoop down. If you're not gonna be fake like this, if you're not gonna be like whatever I want you to be, like control, you need to stoop down and like kiss my ass type of vibe. And I saw that with like other moms would do that sometimes with this teacher. And I'm like, okay. Like I tried, I was being nice and I was friendly, and people are just like, no mannerisms, no respect, no good morning, no hi. It's just like I'm not there. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm being like, people are going against me already. Like the first week, you know, it's just like it's something I needed to heal. Like, you know, I really needed to heal that. And it's like, this was like the end of it, you know, like acceptance of myself fully. Like, fuck you. And like, what the fuck, you know? It's just like, what? Like, your insecurity is so up the ass that you have to be this petty. You know, it's just like you have to be mean girls or like a kiss ass to this person because they don't like me either, because they're jealous, because they want what I have, which they can't buy. Like, you just don't like me because of me? The fuck? You know, like basic, simple as that. And you know, with life things, I can't move my son, you know, and I can't be moving him all the time. Like, he likes this place, like new toys every other day. And yes, there's other teachers who are, they could be bitchy or just very like a lot of attitude, you know, and it has to do with like the newer generations, but that's still not an excuse, you know. And I just don't like that, you know. It's just like we have so much going on in life, so much shit we go through, so much things we have to go through within ourselves. Like, why put another layer or two of like this bullshit stuff. Like, why? You know, like, if you hate your job so much, fucking quit and try something else. Why do you have to make others miserable? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm done and tired of it, you know? And in these type of environments, you can't just fucking say it. You know, you can't just say it. It's like your child, it's where your child's supposed to be safe, but the mother doesn't feel like comfortable, or like, it's just bullshit, you know? And people will eat it up because it's like, aesthetically, it's like a good decent preschool. Aesthetically, everyone's just so mellow and they talk like, hi, and they're just like, you know, like, so fake, you know? And people are just like, okay, here's my child, take care of them, and I'll pick them up at 4, you know? And because I need to figure out how to be fake with others, how to like kiss ass or be mean girls in other parts of my life. I need to see how I'm gonna get this car, or I need to see how I'm gonna make myself and my family look better on social media. How our name is gonna hold up. How I need to keep acting and being perfect. Like, you guys, what the fuck? It just makes you think and feel like, I want to go like into the woods and live there and like get out of this fucking world, like this city, you know? And it's just, seriously, you know, like, I'm being pushed to do that. And I'm also healing this old, I'm not saying I've ever been this toxic, you guys, but seriously, not to this point, never. But having these people around me, these type of people, you know, I just recently cut off my family a few months ago, and once, these are the most toxic people in my life, right? So they're out, so now I have so much peace and joy and like freedom, and I could be myself because I don't need to be putting masks or pretending who I'm not. Like, it's, I say it's bullshit, and it's like, it gets me mad and it angers me, and it's like, it makes me laugh because why are you putting yourself through this? Anybody and everybody who is like fucking fake, why are you putting yourself up to this challenge? You're killing yourself. Like, it's so tiresome, you know? It's so tiresome. Just be yourself, you know? Like, people are so afraid of what others are gonna think. What the fuck? It just doesn't make sense. Like, grow some fucking balls. I have bigger balls than most men that I've met in my entire life. And that's why I'm not liked by men either. Like, my old neighbor who lives downstairs, he doesn't like, he has issues with women in general, but you know, he's older, he's like in his 60s or 70s, and he has issues with women, and sometimes he's wishy-washy, sometimes he's cool, sometimes he's not. But like, when he just moved in, for the first few months, it was like really bad. Like, very like obsessive, or like stalker vibes energy, and I just didn't feel safe around that fucking person. Just like toxic male energy, you know? Like crossing boundaries for sure. Like, mind your business. Like, why are you looking outside the window every time I pass? Or why are you opening the door or coming out every time I pass with my son, with my child? Like, that's just creepy, and it's not okay. Like, why would you make a woman feel this way? And at that time we didn't have a manager, but I was like very just, I wouldn't speak to him, I wouldn't say hi, I would just like mind my business, right? But it's just like, I will show you that I don't fucking like you and I'm not scared of you, but like, cut the shit, I'm like, if something happens, if he tries something, if he says something wrong or whatever, I'm gonna call the cops, and then this new manager from my apartment complex came or started, and I mentioned it to her, and then that shit stopped right away. It's like imbalance of like him not feeling like a real man, and it has to do with childhood for sure, but like, work on that shit, heal yourself, because I'm not the one. And yes, I have a little boy, but I'm not gonna be afraid of you just because you're the opposite sex. And that's how a lot of society or culturally, like, you have to respect the man and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and it's just like, fuck you, and that's why I'm not liked by toxic men either, because they're probably their ego culturally, they're like this, and they're narcissistic, and that's why I'm single, and I don't let men like I have a voice, I have a say so, I have a mind, I have like, you're not gonna be the boss of my life. Like, who are you? Like, you're not God. No one should have that much power over you at all. Like, we're independent, we're free. Why would someone have that over on you? Just because they pay your bills? It shouldn't be like that. It should be free will. And I've had a lot of that in my life, like in relationships. And I had to get out of that. I had to heal that, and my son's father being in the most toxic relationship, being with a narcissist, that did it for me, and I went in and I healed a lot, because it wasn't just that relationship, it was a lot of them. And and just being celibate, and just because you're single doesn't mean, like, society will pressure you, like, be with someone or get married. When are you gonna get married? When are you gonna have kids? And blah 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 and blah blah blah. Like, just let things be. Like, why am I gonna force myself to meet someone who I might half like and half see a future with? Like, it just doesn't make sense. People just marry just because culturally the other person's accepted, or finances, materialism, and it's just like, if you're not happy, like if that person's not your world, if that person does not have the same, like, you don't have to like everything the same, but just like common things. You could have like just common conversations, things that you guys like to do, like things you like to do, and you meet someone who likes to do the same thing, or you know, someone who's deep and like mentally stimulating, you know, like who is like smart, intelligent, and like, you know, you have to be alike in those ways. Someone who wants is, you know, a lot of relationships in the beginning is just talk, 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 talk. Oh, okay, I believe you. Let's get together. And boom, everything happens fast. I have been surrounded in this type of like way. I've been raised to like, for this to be normal, and it's toxic. And I had to unlearn a lot of things. And you know, and on the wealth spectrum, I've never been wealthy. I've never had like been rich. You know, I've been on like, and I've heard that, in, you know, being not insecure, but like low self-worth does impact like your money, your finances, you know. And that may be true in some part, but I see it in another way. And I'm still like, I'm learning, you know, I'm becoming more aware of like what I need to unlearn and heal. And for example, that means, you know, if I want a certain type of lifestyle, right, which is like high vibrational lifestyle, peace, healthiness in every single way possible, or what I think it is, you know, being around people and that are like this, who are not low vibrational, who don't care what others think, who are their authentic selves, I'm gonna attract these people and these type of jobs, or these, you know, type of environments. So I'm still like in this learning phase, taking things out of my life that don't serve me and never served me, but because they were family, because I'm so used to and comfortable in this type of lifestyle environment, I think it's normal, then that's what I'm gonna attract. And thankfully I'm like, I'm aware of it, and I'm like almost towards the end of it, you know, wanting better for myself in this way. And when people talk about, or books or videos, people talk about this wanting better for yourself, this is what they're talking about. Most of the time it should be what they're talking about, not materialistically, not like, oh, I deserve to be earning blah 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 and whatever because I carry this, because I'm a bad bee, and you know, like this ego, this pride thing. Not in that way, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That type of self-worth. And it's not easy, because I don't have any friends. I don't have people who I've met, who are in my life, or who I've met physically, that think like me, that are like me, that are, aiming towards like a better life in this sense. Like, I probably need to go out there, go in different types of environments to meet these people. But, I'm taking baby steps because I've been through it in life, and I've been with a lot of people, because I am not a person that gives up. I'm not a person who hates just because. I don't hate anybody. I'm a loving person. I have a big heart. I'm open-hearted. I talk, like, I'm communication. Like, I talk, and I've been in the worst and bad environments, and environments that I grew up in thinking that that's normal, and, brainwashing me like, this is normal, this is, and attracting these same type of environments because that's all I knew. And and being very, very, like, judged and tamed and talked down to, talked about, bullied, everything in the book. And I'm just done. I'm over it. It's like, trust has gone out the window. Like, when I meet new people, it's just, I don't want to put the effort into it. It's like, I've been through it, like, through the ringer. I've really gone through it, that I'm just like, I don't have hope for humanity anymore. That's how, like, I've really gone through it. And, it's just, it's not something that I need to, like, shout out every single day so people could, like, say, oh, let's treat her a different way, because it's like, no, I don't need to show or prove myself to you, to nobody, and people get fucked up because people think they could play in my energy, play me, thinking that because I'm kind and gentle and soft-spoken, and I'm just chill, that I'm naive and stupid. And that's just the first, like, week or 2 or 3, if it's someone new, no matter what type of relationship, but someone who comes into my life, and I read them and I know them, like, in 2 seconds, and people just, like, make up stories, make up like scenarios in their head, like prejudgment, and like, oh, this person is this, and this. It's like, wow. Like, you're ridiculous, and like, you're fucking stupid, and you're gonna get karma soon, because I'm the one that brings that shit to you. Like, I'm guided into your life for a reason. And sometimes, yeah, I converse with myself and my angel and my guides from the highest white light, and with God, like, not with God, no. But like, my petty side, it's just like within me, or like, I talk to myself out loud. I'm like, these bitches, if they knew, if I fucking told them like who the fuck I am, like, no, you wouldn't be able to handle it. Like, you would shit yourself. Like, to know that your ass is gonna get karma the instant, the the second I leave your life, the environment. Like, I'm the one that brings blessings. Like, like, this is my, within me. It's like, no, like, but I can't say this, it's like, you don't have to prove yourself. And this is like trying to prove yourself. Like, no, that's not me. This is me. When they purposely like misunderstand you, they want to not understand you. They want to make you feel like low down about yourself. So it's like you have to prove yourself to me. It's like, who the fuck are you? You're not God. You're not. Like, you're nothing important to me and in my life. So fuck off, like you're really Delulu. And like, you just fucked up, because you're gonna have to, I'm here to awaken your ass, or I'm here to do something that's gonna drastically change your fucking life, and you're not gonna like it, because you're living low vibrational, toxic, karmic, whatever it is, and you're being like this with someone who is here to help you and to bring you blessings, bring answered prayers, all through the Lord. The Lord God can take or give through me. God, I receive messages through God, and I am just a vessel, and he works through me to talk to others, to say things to others. And I am not perfect. I am sometimes not obedient, and I let the best get to me, but I'm to a point where, like, things like this is not gonna bother so much. It's not. It's like, we have a backbone now. We have, and it's sometimes it's a mind fuck, because sometimes it's like, for us, most of our lives, we have not spoken our truth. So we feel like we have a small voice. And we hesitate or double or second guess ourselves. Like, should we even say this? Should we say the raw, crucial truth of who you are? Like, you think I can't see who you really are? And you're acting like you're perfect, but you're not. Like, we can't. It's such a fine line. And I don't like to overstep, because you have to be like obedient and strict and have boundaries, in the sense where, yeah, you could flaunt, or you could praise yourself, like you have these abilities, you see through people, you see truths, and you want to tell people off sometimes, because it's just like, damn, like, you're really trying to fuck with me. Like, you're really trying to bring me there. And I will take you there in a second, and you're gonna be crying, rolled up on the floor. Like, yeah. And we can't just spit it out and say things. Most of the time, we can't. And that's something that I'm learning. It's like, when can I speak and like speak the truth? When can I not, to people? Because with our gifts, with our abilities, like, we see a lot of things that others don't see, right? We see your deepest, darkest fears, insecurities, secrets, lies, betrayals. We see it all. And we could like shut you down in a second. We could make you feel like so bad. Like, but there's no darkness within me. Like, I could be like little petty, but like that's why I have such a responsibility. Like I can't just not be obedient and like tell you your shit, you know? And I'm learning and I'm working little by little with like understanding and like just having awareness and communication with like the higher ups of when and how, and like, because if it's something like you want, because people are petty as fuck, so if you want to like say something to them to shut them up like forever, you know, like they're not gonna fuck with you anymore ever again. But there is a reason why you're there. There's a purpose why you're there. You're on a journey. And yeah, it's tests from God, you know, like work on yourself. Like you feel like this, work on yourself. You know, it's like they're unhealed. They're below you energetically. Like you are here to teach them something. You are the leader, you are the teacher. And it's a mind confusion because it's like, what? I am? But we are. And like these souls, these individuals, like they're babies. They're baby souls. Like we've been here for so long. We've incarnated so many, like we're old souls, and we need to show them and teach them things, right? And if we go down to their level or be petty or be like a bully or like a mean girl and tell them something, like that's the devil, that's demonic. Like the devil is winning, you know, and you might get your abilities, your gifts revoked. They might be, God is very, very like forgiving, but I wouldn't be able to live with it. Like obviously I would, but like, and I've done it in the past where I've said things to people, especially lovers, who want to like really make me think I'm fucking stupid or like act like I'm dumb. And it's just like, no, you're tripping. Like this, and this. Like I know this and this and this and this. And like you can't fool me. And like, no. You know? And yeah, they don't fuck with me ever again. Or they stay in my life at a distance and they try to like be like respectful and decent because I put them in their place, but behind closed doors or behind my back they're talking shit, you know, like how they were acting before. They want to act like this but they can't anymore, so they do it and they act this way to others, like talk about me to others in this type of way, you know. And that's what it is. So it's an hour and 28 minutes. I'm gonna have to stop the video because it's too long now. It's too long and I don't know who wants to hear me for this long. Unless you resonate or you like my voice or, you know, like my energy, like you feel comfortable, you resonate, or, you know, like so many readers have been saying these past few days, like you will call your tribe, or like the people who are, you are the leader, you are the teacher, the people who are meant to learn from you will be drawn, called towards you, you know, by your voice, by what you're saying, by, you know, what they resonate with the experiences that I'm speaking about or talking about. Like, you know, everyone has I see it as like groups, you know, at the beginning of like making YouTube, I'm like, I have to be and act like this and like learn how to edit on YouTube. And yeah, that's important. It brings more views, right? But I don't care, you know, and I don't feel comfortable acting like this YouTuber that I like. There's so many YouTubers that I like, right? But like everyone is unique in their own way. And I'm gonna learn how I am on camera and what I want to speak about, what I'm called to and guided to speak about. Not what other YouTubers have been speaking, like my favorite YouTubers have been speaking about all this week, and talk about, I mean, it's possible, it's normal, right? Because we're all like connected energetically in some way or another, but I'm gonna do it in my own way, you know, like, you know, and I felt like a fraud, I felt like a copycat, I felt like an imposter syndrome in the beginning of making YouTube videos, honestly. And now some days I feel like that, some days I don't, but today I don't, and that's good, you know. But yeah, I'll cut the video. You guys have a good day. Ugh. Okay, bye. I'm stretching.